Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of God Made Millionaire TV, where God-given dreams get activated and launched right before your very eyes. It is my honor and privilege tonight to bring to you Mr. Simon T. Bailey. Simon T. Bailey is one of the most inspirational and motivational speakers in our country today. Tonight we've got an incredible lineup of guests for you, but without any further ado, let's crack open the vault and let's get the show started. Simon T. Bailey, welcome to the set.
Thank you so much. So good to be with you.
I'm just thrilled to have you here today. When my producers told me that you had agreed to come on the show today, I was so excited to have you on set. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon T. Bailey here. This is somebody you're going to want to connect with for sure. Simon, I want to tell you something. You posted a video not too long ago on social media, and it got 87 million views. Tell me about that, brother.
It's a short story of me talking about my daughter and how I failed after being married for 25 years. I was emotionally unavailable, and my daughter said to me, Daddy, how you doing? And I totally was not in the moment. I'm like, fine, and I could sense she wanted to talk. And she said, well, Daddy, I see you're busy. And she ended up leaving the office, and it hit me that I missed the moment to connect with my daughter because I was busy but not effective. And so that's what the video is about.
Wow. Wow. Did you ever see that coming 87 million views?
I didn't.
That's amazing. What an amazing story. Now, let me ask you this. You're an author. You've written 10 books. Tell us a little bit about your background, if you don't mind.
Grew up in Buffalo, New York, so imagine attempted suicide at 15. College dropout at 19 years of age. I went back to school. Took me 10 years to finish my degree. I was on the 10-year plan. Joined Disney, worked at Disney for 7 years, and decided one day to cash in my entire 401k with significant Disney stock. Took out a line of credit on the house and walked away, turned down 4 jobs to become an entrepreneur. So today, our whole goal is to teach people how to create the future and to be fearless.
Oh, I love that. You know, did I hear you right that about high school? What did you say about high school?
When I was in high school, I attempted suicide at 15 years of age because I was playing basketball and a boy told me on the basketball court, you are black as tar, you are nothing, you are ugly. And it was equivalent to someone taking a knife and just cutting me. And so I ran home and got the keys to my mother's car, went in the garage door, closed the garage door behind me, got in the car, put the key in the ignition, and prepared to turn the ignition. And something said, don't do it. And I got out of the car, never told my parents what I attempted to do. My father went home to be with the Lord, so he never knew this story, but I believe it was God that spoke to me and said, don't do it.
Boy, I think you have a message for somebody here today that's tuning into this show, but I want to talk a little bit about from that moment in time to now, to where the man that sits before me now. Tell me a little bit about what God has laid on your heart. Let's talk about the assignment that he has given that same boy that turned into this man that sits before us today.
Well, I've discovered when it's time for you to go to another dimension, you will understand how to open the vault of who you were meant to be from the inside out. What drives you to that point is you become uncomfortable being comfortable. You become frustrated being comfortable where you are, and you stop playing small. So I recognized that it was up to me to leave the 7th most recognized brand in the world, right when the country was going to war with Iraq for the 2nd time, to say, I'm now gonna be an entrepreneur. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
And what I discovered, it's never a perfect time to become the person you might have been. You have to make a choice, you have to take a chance, and you have to change.
Right. Well, the way I like to put it is God doesn't consult with your calendar when he gives you a dream.
Exactly.
Tell me the dream that God has given you, Simon T. Bailey.
My goal is to reach 1 billion people plus on the planet to teach them that a job is what you're paid to do, but release your brilliance is what you're made to do. And when you understand how to release your brilliance, you will be invited to an opportunity to shift. Shift is see how I fit tomorrow, starting today.
Right. Now, you've authored how many books?
10 books.
10 books. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is so incredible. How many organizations have you consulted with across the country?
We've been blessed to work with about 1,800 organizations in 49 countries.
1,800 organizations in how many countries?
49.
That is amazing. If you could take me back to a defining moment, was it in high school? We know that was a defining moment, but tell me the defining moment in your business life. As we were talking before the show, we talked a little bit about people want microwave results, right?
Sure.
But tell me that moment in time that was a defining moment for you in your life, if you don't mind.
I'll never forget, I was in Paris, and Disney had sent me to Paris to teach a leadership program for 1,000 leaders out of Barclays Bank out of London. And Lion King had just come out, and I said, remember who you are. You are more than what you have become. I just said it in a stream of consciousness, and something hit me that night. I went back to my room, my hotel room in Paris, and I asked myself, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What would I do if no one paid me to do it? And what makes me come alive? And when I answered those 3 questions, because what I've just said, I said I want to speak, write, train, consultant, coach. So literally when I came from Paris back to Florida where I live, I recognized that I needed to create an exit strategy because I was being invited to go for my dreams. And what I discovered, there's timing, and you never want to miss your timing, because if you miss your timing, it throws everything off. But when you say yes to your dream, yes to your future, everybody that has been assigned to aid and help you will literally show up to a place called there, but you get there in here. And when you get there in here, there is an alignment of head, heart, and hands.
Boy, I love that. I absolutely love that. You know, Simon, we are running out of time on this segment here. Want you to do this for me if you don't mind. We have people that were your age back in high school that are tuning into this, and there are mothers that are saying, you know what? I want you to listen to this son. I want you to listen to this daughter. I want you to look into that camera, and I want you to deliver a message to that young man, that young woman, about their destiny, about their future, if you don't mind.
Well, first of all, in a world of artificial intelligence, automation, and algorithms, you are relevant. You matter. Everything that you need to succeed is inside of you in the form of a seed, and that seed is called brilliance. When you understand how to tap into your brilliance, you unlock the potential of God from the inside out, and you discover that the vault that has been waiting to be opened is inside of you. I invite you to go for it because the world needs you. You matter, oh brilliant one.
Oh, Simon T. Bailey, you matter, my friend. Will you come back and see me again?
I will, for sure.
Right.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon T. Bailey. Make sure you connect with him on social media. Visit this man of God, powerful man of God that God has purposed to do great things. Simon T. Bailey, thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much.
It is my honor and privilege to bring to you tonight an incredible business leader, Phyllis Solis Friederich. Phyllis is an incredible business leader who is making a dent in the universe with her college program called College Survivor, helping parents and students navigate the confusing maze of going to college. She's incredible, she's inspirational, and she's my next guest. So without any further ado, let's go into the studio and meet this powerful woman of God. Phyllis Solis Friederich, honor to have you on the show.
What a pleasure. I am so excited. Thank you for having me.
Well, you know what? I want to give you honor. You are the first Hispanic Latina to write a book about college scholarships on a worldwide scale. What an honor for you to be here.
Thank you very much, and that's very true.
Right. Well, I love your enthusiasm. You're just having so much fun. But tell us a little bit more about what is a college survivor.
So I want you to picture this.
Right.
If you were to build a house,
okay,
you would need a blueprint and you'd need tools. So if you went to build a house, which would be your foundation for your future, probably. You could use a blueprint, but if you didn't have tools, how would you build your house?
Right.
And if you had tools but no blueprint, you still couldn't do it. So, College Survivor, that's your blueprint. We have an additional sector on our website called the University of Success, and that provides you your tools.
Right. Now, isn't that an interactive platform?
It's an interactive platform, kind of like a one-stop shop. You've heard that before.
Right.
With a plethora of information, but in addition to that, there are calculators that you can use, and through my book tour, you should see the students' eyes just go, what? It's just 14 questions in the scholarship deficit calculator, gives you your debt, and then it gives you solutions on how to make some strategic decisions.
Right. So how does the University Success Platform, how does it help the parents and the students?
In terms of the parents, they've either gone through the process. Most of my cases, the parents have not gone through the college process, and it helps them understand how it really works out from a financial perspective. Then I'll pull a student aside. I'm going to the university and I'm going to be the tough guy or girl or whatever. Well, let's take a look at how much that's going to cost. Are you going to work? No, I'm not going to work. Okay. So we plug in the numbers, and finally at the end, they look at the deficit, and if they choose to make an action or not, here's how much you're going to owe. And if you take out loans, 5-year loan is this, 10-year loan is that, it's all laid out for them. And then all of a sudden they begin to think, well, what if I made an adjustment? Do you want to work a job for 15 hours a week? Yeah, I want to do that. Well, let's plug it in. We just reduced it by so-and-so.
Right.
You can do it. Or, hey, have you ever thought about community college and then switch over? Okay, let's try that. So we plug those numbers in. Whoa, we just reduced by 30 grand.
Well, the ears of parents all across, the ears have perked up because they heard this right now. Parents must love your university success.
Oh, yes.
You're like, that's your biggest fan club, right?
Oh, most definitely. Demographic, age 45 to 65, yes.
Wow.
Grandparents are hardcore in there too.
Right. Well, talk a little bit about your inspiration, because clearly you're walking in your calling and what God has called you to do. Mm-hmm. But let's dig a little bit deeper on what inspired you to write College Survivor and put this program together.
Oh, I have a great story for you. For starters, the inspiration obviously is my children. And I grew up in a family where we only knew high school, next step, college. But that's not with every family.
Right.
So I have a daughter that's going to be a doctor.
Right.
I have a bachelor's degree. Can you imagine an MD? We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So how am I going to help this child stay out of debt? I learned the system as a single parent. So I have a daughter and a son. I wanted to see if I wanted to go into education. Had the opportunity to work in more of an impoverished area. Didn't understand the perspective of where these students came from. Straight A kid, brilliant. What are your plans for college? Oh, mom and dad already have a job for me at the factory. And so that was my clue in. And then the last component, which was the catalyst, there's a night when you take your student to the high school to meet all the colleges. And they give you a little white bag. And in the little white bag, you just keep putting information in, and then you're overwhelmed because you don't know what to do. And so that was my catalyst, because that bag sat in the corner. I need to help my children. I've had feedback from the schools, and then I had an epiphany one day. I don't know what happened, probably somewhere. Help me there, I am sure. And I looked at that bag and said, oh, seriously, Phyllis, you've had years of corporate experience and you can't figure out how to approach this?
Right.
Because in there was who, what, where, when. Not one place for how. Or ordered books, outdated books, 10 years, 15 years old. Flip phones in there. Nothing that is of today. And so then I started to research for my kids, And then the kids asked me, well, can you help me? And then it just kind of.
It's amazing. It's amazing how it came out of your own experience. And I have to say that navigating that for the first time, that experience with college, it's got to be overwhelming for a parent.
You would assume that a parent who's been through college would know what to do.
Right, right.
No. Parents who have not been to college, or they have a student that's doing very well and needs to go bachelor's even further.
Right.
And here I have my bachelor's degree, and I was, what do I do? So all the parents, it does not matter the background, the socioeconomic background, demographics, what have you, level of income, they're all, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do it. I don't know who to call. I don't know what books to buy. I don't know where to go on the internet. I went on the internet and I just gave up. And please teach me how. And so College Survivor teaches you how.
So you bridge that gap. You bring clarity to a very confusing maze for parents.
Oh, absolutely. And it's consistent.
Right, right.
I have yet to find a parent that has said, oh yeah, I got this down.
Is it more for the parents or is it more for the students?
I actually have the chapters where we've taken, these are the best chapters for parents, these are the best chapters for high school students.
Wow.
And these are the best chapters for college students.
Wow, that's amazing. What a great resource that is.
Well, I mean, why read something for a parent if you're a college student?
Right, exactly. Let me ask you, what projects do you have upcoming that you're excited to share about?
This next book is going to be College Survivor Christian.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that.
Ah, yes. And I have a co-writer.
Right.
Who happens to be my cousin, and she's a pastor.
Wonderful.
And what this is going to do for your Christian student, they also struggle with purpose and their life journey, where they need students get down, adults get down.
Right.
So there will be passages and words coming from my co-writer that she's received from the Holy Spirit to speak to that student.
All right.
With every chapter.
Let me ask you this, College Survivor, who's your ideal client that's listening at home? Who should get that book? Who should enroll in your university success that you have?
I would say that it's the parents.
Is it?
You would think it would be the students. We do have on the University of Success videos, and I've talked to a lot of students. Will you read the book? No, we don't read at school.
Yeah.
We watch videos. Okay, well, I'll make you videos. So we have videos on the University of Success, but it's this different generation that enjoys the page turning.
Right.
And the highlighting and what have you.
Phyllis, here's what I'd like you to do. There are parents that are tuning into this tonight, and they work a job, a full-time job.
Yes.
Some are working 2 or 3 jobs. We have single moms, a lot of single moms that are the sole provider for their families. And they're looking at you and they're saying, I want the best for my child. But they're so overwhelmed with the information. What I'd like you to do is to look into that camera and speak to them. Speak your message to them to encourage them, to inspire them, that there is a pathway for them, a solution.
Parents, single parents, parents of numerous children, there is a way through financial literacy training that perhaps you have not had. We have 8 chapters devoted to that. If you're struggling with time management, we have another 7 chapters devoted to personal development in terms of developing your dreams, really researching and finding out who you are. So as a parent, there is no way that you can determine what your child's dream is. But guess what? There's a chapter for you that is designed for you to mentor your student. And I give words and encouragement on how to speak to your child so that they can find themselves or at least begin a path. And if you attend a workshop in the future, then we would be able to speak to your student and also to you. So you have half of the book for financial literacy, so you can take a look from a wide angle lens and actually see what is out there. And you can also find out what the myths and misconceptions are, because we have a chapter for that. And then there's the evolution of the self. So yes, parents, there you go. And then we'll pull your kids in.
Phyllis, it's an honor to have you on the show.
Oh, thank
today.
you.
You come back and see us sometime.
I will.
All right. Phyllis Solis Friederich, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hey everybody, we've reached the part of the show where I can give you a word that is burning within my heart for you, but I want to share something with you. I have the greatest privilege ever. It's my honor and privilege, number one, that you've invited me into your home to watch this show. But I will tell you this, one of the greatest privileges that I get on this show is I get to witness firsthand God-given dreams being activated right before your very eyes. I think it'd be confusing to some people to think, or you'd be misguided to think, that I want the most polished people to come up on set and share their God-given dreams. I'm not looking for TEDx speakers to come and share their God-given dreams on this platform. I'm looking for somebody that's been given a dream, a God-given dream, and they need a platform to share it to the nations. And thankfully, God has given me this platform to share it. But I want to give you a little backstory, if you would, about the God Made Millionaire story and this brand. You see this show open with the bank vault open, thunderous bank vault open. And then you see our studio set with the bank vault door behind me. But what you don't know is the rest of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole show was never on my radar screen. Doing my own TV show was not on my bucket list. But my life forever changed about 5 months ago when I was sitting in my office and minding my own business when God interrupted my day. And he said to me, TC, you're not playing big enough. Now, I was minding my own business, mind you, in my office when he dropped this into my spirit. And I was like, God, what are you talking about? I'm not playing big enough. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a point in your life when you have been called by God to do something, and you either have to step up and step into what God has called you to do, or you have to sit down and shut up. I'm going to tell you a story about the vault and about the God Made Millionaire brand. When we were in production meetings, and the director asked me, do you have a name of a show? And I said, yes, I do. It's God Made Millionaire TV. And I heard silence on the other end of the phone. And I said, what do you think about that? Now, normally I don't ask people what they think when God has given me an assignment. It doesn't matter to me what they think. It matters what God wants me to do. But I asked, I said, what do you think? He said, I'm about 75%. I said, you're 75%? He said, I'm about 75%. I said, let me tell you why the show is named God Made Millionaire TV. Can I? He said, sure. I said, when I was driving one afternoon with my wife, Vicki, God, and I was minding my own business, God dropped into my spirit, bank building. Bank building, I said. God said, bank building. I said, God, I don't want to own some bank building. He said, son, I want the worldwide headquarters of God Made Millionaire to be in a bank building. I said, wait a minute, hold on a second. What are you talking about, worldwide headquarters for God Made Millionaire? God, have you heard of something called virtual assistants? This is 2019, God. Now I'm having a full-blown argument with God.
in my car. I said, this is 2019. I don't need some big office building for a worldwide headquarters. I don't even need a worldwide headquarters for God Made Millionaire. What are you talking about, God? And if I do need to have a meeting, there's something called a conference center. Lord, am I the only one that has arguments with the Lord when He's calling you to do something? He let me go ahead and share all the reasons why I didn't need a bank building. He said, son, I want the worldwide headquarters for God Made Millionaire to be in a bank building. And he said, I'm going to send people from all over the world to come to that building, to the worldwide headquarters of God Made Millionaire. And they have dreams within them, and you're going to teach them how to activate those dreams. You're going to teach them how to activate their God-given dream that I've planted within them. And when they get to that building, I want you to take them into the vault where there's been millions of dollars in that bank vault. And I want a table just like this table with a pad of paper and a pen. And I want you to leave me alone with them as I download my instruction manual to them in that bank vault. And I said, God, I got it. You'll have it. You'll have it. I explained it to the director, and he called me back within 2 hours and said, TC, I think I can do a bank vault opening for you, and I think we can build a vault for your set that we're going to have for your show.
I love it. Isn't that so cool?
That is so beautiful.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Damon.
Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, when God calls you to do it, you've got to step in to what He's calling you to do. You've just got to. Listen, I'm almost out of time. I love you so much. Make sure you go to GodMadeMillionaire.com. We've got a tremendous site, a community that we're building of people that have those God-given dreams. But for now, I've got to get out of here. Sometime this week, you've got to hit your music and hit your prosperity dance. Get it going. But let me show you what we're talking about. Somebody hit my music. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, God Made Millionaire is not just a financial show. God Made Millionaire is going to be the launching pad for dreams, specifically God-given dreams. God has given me this platform, not just for me, but for you, to give you a platform where you can come and share with the nations, over 200 nations, 93 million homes, that dream that God has given you. You're going to be able to share it to the nations on the God Made Millionaire TV show, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the Word Network.